The sock parade. If these socks could walk, I wonder what stories they would tell. Well, now we've finished our 3-part tutorial on how to knit socks. And you know what? I'm hooked. Really, I probably always have a pair of socks on the side to work on while I work on other projects. And I hope maybe this video or previous videos have inspired you to knit at least one pair of socks. If socks could talk. Imagine the sock parade and what it would be like, the fun that we could have. Hi, everybody. In case you don't know me, I'm Sue Johnston, and I'm a retired counselor, and I got into knitting, and I'm having a great time with it. So I decided to create this channel, and here we are. So one of my themes throughout probably all my videos is that you can knit if you know the basics. You really don't have to have a pattern, but a good pattern can teach you a lot of things. And if you watch these videos, you might learn some stuff. So we've been doing tutorials, 3 of them, on how to knit a sock from the toe up. And basically, well, here are the basics, okay? You have to have some sock yarn and use a US number 1 and number 2 needles. So that's a 2.5 millimeter for the one and a 3 millimeter needle for the second one. So one is for your cuff and the other is for the body. Number 2 with 3 millimeter is for the body of your sock. So you cast on toe up and you cast on using actually Judy's magic cast on method, which you can find in videos. She does have her original video out, which I think is like 6 years old. Anyways, you cast on 12 stitches on each needle, and then you gradually increase on each side until you reach the desired number. Now, if you're using a sock yarn, I found that 60 stitches is pretty good stitch number to aim for. Then you want to knit your body of your foot for about 7 inches. Put in some scrap yarn to mark your heel because you're going to come back to that later. And then you continue knitting probably another 7 inches. So I found that each sock, 7 inches for the foot, 7 inches for the length in the ankle and towards the cuff. Or not cuff, ankle. Minimum you would do 3 inches after the heel. So then when you get to the top, you do a knit and purl, or you can do 2 knits and 1 purl, depending on what kind of effect you want and how long you want. You can do it 1 inch, or you could do a 2.5 inch, 3 inches, whatever size cuff you want. And then you cast it off. Then you go back to the heel, you open up the heel, you put in your double point needles. It's the only way I know how to do it. Some people know magic glue. If you do, great. Okay, so then you open up your heel and you pick up your stitches and you begin decreasing on each side so that eventually you get to 12 stitches. And when you get to 12 stitches on each needle, you would use the Kitchener stitch to finish and weave in the ends. Weave in any ends that you have. And then block your socks. So that leaves us with a question. Should I knit another pair? Sometimes people are saying, well, I knit one. Should I even bother knit the other? Yeah, go ahead and try it. Because the more times you do it, even if you don't like your sock, the more times you practice it, the better you become, the greater your skill level, okay? So, should you knit another pair or go on to something else? Well, I always have a pair of socks now on the side. Well, at least for the last few months I have. And when winter comes up, I'll probably be knitting some nice woolly thick socks for some of the men in our family. Don't tell them. So each sock, let me see, you use sock yarn or you can use Cascade Heritage. And if you use the app Yarn Sub, you'll be able to type in sock yarn, any of those sock yarns like Croy, and find a list of substitutes, things that you could use that would be just as applicable. So, all right, now show and tell time. I used to love show and tell when I was a kid in school, although I was never brave enough to get up and talk about anything. But now I can because I don't care anymore. Yeah, you're self-conscious when you're a kid, not so much when you're older. So I have this sock yarn. This is a James C. Brett sock yarn. And I knit these socks. I haven't got the heel in yet, but I will be doing that. And look, I actually do have two. So that white line is where I'm going to be opening it up and putting in my heel. So this was a great yarn to knit with. And but I'm finding it's a little bit thin. Can you actually see through that? I can see through that, but it's not bad. It's just very comfortable. And I would say if you're going to knit with this sock yarn that you should consider wearing the socks for like lounging socks, you know, if you want to keep your feet warm in the evening. Well, that reminds me, I have another pair of lounging socks. Oh, they're over there. They're black. They're really comfortable. I had them on last night, and actually my feet got too warm. But then that's me. My feet are almost always warm. So what else have I knit? I have yarn in my stash, as they say, and some cotton. Okay, so here we go. I love this cotton split in half. And this is some artisan yarn that I had. Can't remember the name, and unfortunately I don't have the label. But if I do remember it, I'll put it up here, put a little note. So I decided to knit the toe using some cotton in the toe, which makes it a little bit thicker, but that's fine. And later on I will go back and I will be doing my heel. See my line now? Listen. This dark line here is my scrap yarn for my heel. This here is not. Want to know what happened there? See that little bit of purple across? I got so far in the yarn and there was a split. Just some of the strands had split. Don't you just hate that? You're going along and there's some kind of factory knot, or in this case it was a split in the yarn. So rather than take it out or double up on the yarn, I decided to just add this sort of purple line. What the heck? These socks are for me. It doesn't matter if there's an extra line. And this line, of course, is where my heel is going to go. So I will finish knitting this sock up to this length, which is about 7 inches. Yeah, I have my sock measure guy. And I've marked on here, I've just put a little line on there so I know how far I want to go. And that's where I knit up to placing, well, this one's a bit more, but when you put it inside, it actually comes up to, there you go, just about. So that'll be my measure. This is Prim. There's all kinds of different little measure guys for your socks knitting that you can get on Amazon. That's where I got mine. That's where everybody gets stuff, right? I'm not saying everybody should shop Amazon, but so here we go. So this is nice. What do I like about this? It's got a good feel to it. I could put my hand in, but I don't want to lose my stitches here. It's got a good weight feel to it. The stitches are nice and close, which means the closer the stitch, the better the wear when I go to do the heel. And I will reinforce the heel with this cotton, which some would say, well, cotton doesn't wear very well, but mostly when I'm knitting socks, I'm knitting them for maybe an hour wear. I don't plan on wearing them out. I will wear them outside, but not wearing out the heel. And what the heck, I've already researched how to darn socks. So darn it anyways. That's exactly what I will be doing. Right, so that's one that I'm working on, and I will make the mate because it was in my stash and I had no idea what to do with that ball of yarn. So there you go. You know, we go to a yarn shop, we see yarn that we like, we have no idea what we're going to use it for, and then maybe a year later we go like, well, I should use that for something. Okay. What else did I knit? Well, this one you've already seen, and this was yarn that was donated to me. I don't know what it is, but it is really, really stretchy. And I like it, so I'm going to knit up a mate to this one because this yarn, sock yarn, is really stretchy, really nice. And this was knit with the number what is it, well, I just start number 2 and go all the way up and do the increases until I get to the place where I'm going to mark for the afterthought heel, and then I go up and I do a little bit of ribbing on the top. This one I'm going to have to figure out, see if I can match up the ribbing, because I didn't take notes when I was doing this sock. It is good if you write notes. Just create a little note, and like this one, Estelle rag, totally different. I'll get to that in a second. I like this one because it is, these stitches are very close together, and like I said, it does stretch really nice, so it feels comfortable. Every yarn you use, I'm finding that they feel different on your feet, so, and you don't always know how it's going to feel, I think, until it's actually knit up. So there's that one. Now back to this one. Okay, so I like this yarn. It's really soft. It's called Estelle Rag, R-A-G-G, and I'm actually knitting another one. This is the white and steel, they call it, rag, and this is the white and red rag, and it is so soft. I actually have long sleeve thumbless mittens knit in this, and that's one reason it was popular for me. And this was in my stash. I'm going to have to go buy another ball of this yarn to finish up this sock. But what did I do in this one? I should look at my notes. When you're casting on using sock yarn, you will cast on about 60, 62, 64 stitches, depending on the size of your foot. But you can't do that with this yarn, because this yarn is a little bit heavier. They call it a worsted. Some places actually called it chunky, but it's not chunky. It's a worsted weight yarn. So I cast on with this sock. I did take notes, and it was 54 stitches, 52 stitches. And this one, I'm making a little bit smaller, but it looks pretty much the same. This one is 44 stitches. So again, you know, measure your foot, try it on, it fits, and decide, you know, what comfort level you want, how thick or thin you want it to be, how close or loose knitting. And this one's very exact. It's really, really soft and comfortable. So, and apparently you can wash and dry these. I don't think I would ever throw my socks, knitted socks, into the dryer. Washing, maybe. Okay, and they've been blocked. So there's that. I'm sort of not hurrying, but just going through this. I don't want you to be bored. Okay, I decided to try my sock knitting from the top down to the toe. Previously, I was afraid to do that because I was afraid it wouldn't fit, but then I thought, if you've got the right stitch number, it's got to fit. Okay, and I bought a pattern, a sock pattern, and it is Summer Lee's leopard socks. Now, she did hers in beige and black. I actually had in my stash, in my cupboards, Cascade Heritage yarn, which she recommended for it, but I had a white and a black. So I'm knitting it up white and black, and I think it's still just as effective and fun. It may not be leopard. Who has spots like this? I don't know. But I'm having fun, and I'm using double point needles. Probably will end up using double point needles for the whole thing. But I actually enjoy, sorry, I'm going from one thing to the other. I have these circular needles, a 9-inch Addy. There's different brand names. And it's fun to knit with that. I enjoy that. But I think that I can knit faster with double point needles. And where I'm following a chart, I do have an end here. I'm marking my beginning and end. Instead of a little ring, I'm using a thread to know when it's time to finish up, or when I've reached the end of the chart page or line. Anyways, okay, so I'm knitting these, and I like double point needles for that. So if you're inclined check out her pattern. But I would also recommend that before you do that, you go to one of her free patterns. I think it's still free, and it gives you all kinds of instructions on how to use magic loop, how to decrease, casting on, and knitting a sock. Now that particular pattern has the turning heel sock, which is a little bit, I think, traditional type of heel. I've done that. It's not my preference, but I am going to train myself eventually to do that kind of heel. My problem is I end up with little holes on the sides where the heel should be. Okay, are we done yet? Are we done yet? Are we there? Yes, we're there. Okay.